For more analysis, we're joined by Neeraj Singh Manha, Special Advisor for South Asia Party Policy Initiative from New Delhi. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind invite.
Thank you for joining us. Let's start off by asking India's deployment of the INS Vikrant and Pakistan use of the M110 artillery suggests some sort of readiness for a more prolonged conflict. How likely is it that a full-scale war may take place or be triggered?
Okay, first of all, we need to understand one thing that India view this kind of a development of deployment of INS Vikrant in the Arabian Sea as what we saw happened a very bad massacre on 22nd of April, and as a strategic signal of a strength and deterrence rather than an immediate action of war. Because we need to understand that this INS Vikrant, which is right now currently moving towards Pakistan's coastline, it is right now at a positioning of 600 to 700 kilometers far away from the Pakistan's coastline. But it also enhances the India's maritime dominance and the ability to control the key routes, because we also need to understand that this is the only route through which Pakistan accounts of 60% of their trade route. And that is why this becomes very much important. Similarly, from our counterpart, Pakistan has also deployed military arsenal, and because both the sides has got heated up due to the recent Islamistic attack which has happened on a Pahalgam on Kashmir, and which has actually unfortunately has taken up a lives of 26 people, and a dozen of people have also got they are also under the treatment of at the various hospitals. So we also need to understand that this kind of mutation which is happening between both the countries, it is kindly a kind of a sign that if things are not solved, both the countries can also conflict to each other.
Well, sir, I mean, as you said, that this started off with a terrorist attack and it escalated quite quickly. With both sides suspending foundational treaties like the India's Water Treaty and a similar agreement, what are the immediate risks to regional stability and resource sharing when it comes to these foundational treaties, and what does it mean for the future of these two countries?
Okay, so we need to understand one thing when we are talking about this international treaty, specifically the Indus Water Treaty. So India, immediately after this Pahalgam terrorist attack, has given a statement by our Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri. He has stated that they will be abeyance of IWT till the time Pakistan doesn't stop funding the cross-border terrorism. So in that point of view, we need to understand that there is a difference between abeyance and totally suspending the treaty. There are a lot of speculations which are happening in the media house that India has totally suspended or discarded the treaty. No, we have only abeyance, we have only suspended at the moment the Indus Water Treaty, because we are seeing that this is the only option which India has left with. And we have seen how much Pakistan has also got agitated with this, which they have also counted in a way of waging a war, or they have called it as that this will be considered as an act of war. So we also need to understand this Indus Water Treaty, which was signed in long back in 1960. This its relevance and the current scenario has totally changed, because this treaty is totally outdated, and since we are having a lot many wars with the Pakistan since after 1960 also, like in
So,
1965.
you may think of renegotiating. Is that what you're saying? That the Indian side and the Pakistani side may think of renegotiating these treaties, or are they a suspension in part due to the increasing tension between the two countries?
So particularly India decided to have a renegotiation, because what we saw in 2001 Parliament attack, and then in 2016 Uri attack happened, and then in 2019 also we had an attack, and now subsequently in 2025 Pahalgam attack. So India has been given this stance of renegotiation of this treaty. But we and our honorable Prime Minister has also stated that the blood and water cannot flow together. But from our counterpart, Pakistan, this has not been resolved, and it has always been taken to the UN or the other, arbitration, where this issue was not at all solved. So we also need to see that how much the Pakistan is ready to give away the terrorism funding or going to support this, because India has had enough of its terrorism and terrorist activities which are linked to Kashmir or Indian side also. So seeing that kind of a scenario, we need to understand that it's not a time of renegotiation, but India is ready to abeyance the Indus Water Treaty till the time Pakistan doesn't stop cross-border terrorism.
Also, I mean, India's home demolitions in Kashmir, as well as Pakistan's attainment of border security forces, this is possibly inflaming the local grievances in the Kashmir region. Am I correct in stating this? And if so, what's to be done?
We have seen that Indian intelligence, and want to congratulate the Indian intelligence team that they were very much quick in taking up a lot of action, and with their a lot of insights on OSINT and HUMINT also and GeoSINT also, that they were able to cater a lot of data, and they were able to investigate that what went wrong and how things were connected with the Pakistan TRF, the Resistant Front, which is basically a Lashkar-e-Taiba outfit, a group. And due to that, two people like Adil Sheikh and Mohammed Hussain, these are the two people who are also the localites who are helping these terrorists, and their house has been built, totally built into demonstrated. Because of that, because India is ready to take a lot of action which are totally based on terrorist outfit. And we have seen on our counterpart, our Indian PSF soldier was also taken away. And that's not a one instance. In the past also, lot many times Indian soldiers, whenever they mistakenly skip enter the LOC or cross that area, they have been captured by Pakistanis. So that sort of a I think there is a misunderstanding here, but they are regularly captured and they are tortured by the Pakistanis. So that sort of a thing is there. But India is not going to compromise on its part of taking cross-border terrorism at a very lightly this moment.
Okay, now, sir, we've seen major powers like the United States and China largely stay silent when it comes to what's happening right now between India and Pakistan. What role could they realistically play, along with UN, to somehow mediate or de-escalate the situation?
So first of all, we need to understand that US, which is already shifting the world power, and we are seeing a lot of changes which are happening in the world power itself. So US, after coming Donald Trump's 2.0, we have seen that large number of changes are happening in the US system also. And similarly, coming to the, I think in the second month of its presidency, Donald Trump has announced that he is going to wage a war of tariff wars on different countries. And both US, both China and the other countries have been, been a part of that, where they have been applied this reciprocal tariffs. So I believe that the world is right now focused on them, but certainly this kind of incident, terrorist attack happened in India, has now shifted their focus on our side. But to understand, tell you one thing, that both US and China has already condemned this kind of cowardly attack which have been done by the Pakistani Islamist terrorist group. But
yes, for sure, sir. But I mean, given the expulsion of diplomats, visa revocations, the escalations that have taken place, and the breakdown in communication channels, how can they really help in de-escalating or have a third-party mediation when things are moving on so fast or so quickly when escalating-wise?
Okay, in terms of de-escalation, we have seen that our good friend Iran has come into a place where they have also optioned us that they are ready to mediate if both the parties are ready to discuss. Even from the Pakistan side also, totally neglecting India's side, where they have called in that they want to go again for a neutral probe. But I see an India's stance is totally firm and very strong and very bold this time, that we already know who is the culprit. It's just we want to call it from our own end, that how we are going to tell Pakistan that how they can also come and sit, because this is our internal issue. We have seen that when our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was there, he has also represented this kind of a issue to the UN. But this case was not at all solved. So whom are we looking at? Whom are we going to go for this kind of a resolution? I think this is an internal issue, and both India and Pakistan will definitely come to a point where they can solve out this issue on their own.
Hopefully that happens. That was Neeraj Singh Manha, Special Advisor for the South Asia Parlay Policy Initiative from New Delhi. Thank you for your insights, sir.